Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace. Here I'm running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Everything and anything New Jersey Devils. A lot of new people kicking around these parts in the last few days. Thank you very much for joining. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And on to the latest piece of business here, and that is the potential to get the band back together. After analyzing the board and what's going to be out there in free agency, looking at what our New Jersey Devils club needs and deserves. After making a video just yesterday about Fitzgerald needing to have a sandpaper summer, how do we go out and make a splash in free agency? And we've all been talking about it for weeks, different names being thrown around in the comments. Thank you all for joining in on the conversation. And when I sit back and really look at it, I now have arrived at the course of action I personally would take if I were Tom Fitzgerald, and that is getting Nikita Zadorov and Christanev in free agency on July 1. I am officially going with the Calgary reunion. Call it Calgary Flames East. Call it whatever you want. I'm trying to add Nikita Zadorov and Christanev to the Devils' blue line, and I'm trying to do it on July 1. And I think this would be a really, really big step in revamping the defense and the entire New Jersey Devils team, quite frankly. The team immediately becomes much harder to play against, much nastier. These are both gritty guys that do not take any nonsense, and I think we all can agree we kind of need that. We were way too soft, way too easy to play against. These two guys on our blue line go a long way in changing that entirely. And they both have played with Markstrom last year on the Flames before the team just kind of went into complete sell mode and Hanifin was gone. And we actually brokered the Tanev deal to get him to Dallas. And Zadorov went to the Canucks. They all played together on the Flames. And maybe Markstrom could call up his former defenseman and say, you know what, guys? I think they're on to something in New Jersey. Maybe you should join me. And maybe Markstrom could be a recruiter before he even wears a New Jersey Devil jersey for the first time. He could play a pivotal role in bringing one or both. I mean, I'm looking for both here. Both of these guys to New Jersey to really bolster that defense. And I think it would be amazing. And it would really be helpful if Markstrom could lend a helping hand here and put on his recruiter hat. Let's take a look at these guys. And I'll start off with Tanev. There he is. There's the official stats. Coming in at 6'2" and 193 pounds. He is 34 years old, hailing from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, a right-handed shot. And if that little mug shot there doesn't look like a hockey player, folks, I don't know what is. That is a quintessential hockey man photo right there. Christanev bringing in some size on the blue line. And let's take a look at a little scouting report via Cap Friendly. And rest in peace to Cap Friendly. The Washington Capitals purchased it, and we're not going to be able to use it anymore. It's going to get shut down at some point in the near future. That's a real big loss to the hockey community. I know myself and tons of others use Cap Friendly as a resource, not only for cap numbers and calculations and things, but they also have really nice scouting reports and a variety of tools on there. And let's just look at the scouting report on Christanev. 23-24 breakdown. His cap hit was $4.5 million. He's a right shot. Regular season, 75 games played, 2 goals, 17 assists, plus 22, 24 penalty minutes. Average time on ice, 20 minutes. All of his ice time coming at even strength and shorthanded while on the penalty kill. Credited with 56 shots on goal, 45 hits, 207 shot blocks. A little under 3 shot blocks a game. Love to see that. You guys all know all season long I preached. To me, the underappreciated stats that really show a team or player's willingness to win is two of the ugly stats. Block shots and hits. You need guys that do it. Two-way leaning defensive D. One of the top shot blockers in the entire NHL. Sacrifices his body, getting in shooting lanes and fronting opponents. Relentless compete, average puck skill. Matches up versus top 6 opponents. Moves efficiently, leads by example. They have him slotted in there as a middle pairing defenseman. And then one more scouting report here. Tanev is one of the top shot blockers defensively in the entire NHL. Warrior. Empties the tank every shift. Plays to a consistent identity. Two-way, leaning defensive D. Twilight of his career. Relatively healthy in 23-24. Average plus skater and puck mover. Any offense a team gets from Tanev is a bonus. Matches up against top 6 opponents and rolls over the boards on the first PK unit. Plays hard matchup minutes every night. There's his stats again. Pending unrestricted free agency, obviously. Likely leaning number 5 defenseman, more consistent, top 4 on next contract. And there it is. We're getting a gritty guy, competes at a high level, brings it all, empties the tank, blocking shots, not afraid of the physicality, and at 6'2", I think this veteran defenseman needs to reunite with Jacob Markstrom in New Jersey on July 1st. On July 1st. And we get on to what I'll consider in here the main event, Nikita Zadorov, the man I want more than anything. I actually put up a video 7 months ago when the rumors about Zadorov being shipped out of Calgary first surfaced. I said the New Jersey Devils must get him now. That was 7 months ago I wanted him. We obviously did not. He went to Vancouver, but here we are with another crack at him again. And let's just look at the stats for Mr. Zadorov. Coming in at a whopping 6'6" and 248 pounds, 29 years of age, hailing from Moscow, Russia, the left-handed shot, Nikita Zadorov, a man amongst boys in a lot of games. And he doesn't have quite as an intimidating as a photo as Tanev, I'm not going to lie. Looking at his headshot, if you told me he was a stockbroker or a developer, a librarian, or even a 5th grade school teacher, I would say, okay. He doesn't have that look. The look doesn't match up to what he is, but I promise you he is an absolute killer. We look at the scouting report on him. Regular season breakdown, his cap hit was $3.75 million, 75 games played, 6 goals, 14 assists, 125 penalty minutes, average time on ice 17 minutes, 30 seconds. Primary ice time comes at even strength and on the PK. Credited with 90 shots on goal, 178 hits, 68 shot blocks. Huge frame, two-way D, sneaky offense, physical, above-average skater for stature, punishing hitter when he times his gaps to kill plays. Reminds me of someone else. We'll come to that in a little bit. Over the course of an entire season, his detail can range occasionally. Long-range outlets are accurate, plays with a presence. They have him as a middle-pairing defenseman as well. And one more scouting report on him. Zadorov's game has evolved since arriving in Vancouver. In 54 regular season games, he averaged 17 minutes time on ice and produced 5 goals, 9 assists. All of his ice time came at even strength and penalty kill. He played to his physical, mean identity, credited with 111 hits, 136 shot blocks, and whistled for 102 penalty minutes. His game in playoffs has gone to another level. He's producing more offense, 4 goals, 3 assists, and his time on ice has risen to over 20 minutes per game. Huge frame, solid skater, shoots the puck accurately from distance, and has proven he can beat NHL goalies clean. Average plus distributor overall. Two-way physical D who lands somewhere between number 4, number 5 defenseman, depending on the time of the year. And he's a pending unrestricted free agent as well. And these scouting reports tell you all you need to know. And the other reason I like him even more is he raised his game in the playoffs. If any of you saw, he had some huge timely goals, huge hits. He's burying people. This guy is nasty. He brings the energy. He has a mountain of size. And we do not have anyone currently remotely like this. And I think a guy like this does wonders on the ice and to the psyche of the club. This man is an absolute monster. He is a certified killer, and I want him on our blue line more than anything. I've said for weeks now, I wanted him last year. Video up as proof. 7 months ago, I wanted him. And he is my singular numero uno, number 1 want in free agency this summer. He is the guy I want more than any others out there, and the guy that Tom Fitzgerald needs to bring to New Jersey because this man is nasty. For all the old-time fans here, I think our man Zadorov is a little mixture of Scotty Stevens mixed with Ivan Drago. There you see them both, 2 absolute assassins in Scott Stevens and Ivan Drago. Patrolling the blue line. I must break you. And here are pictures of Zadorov breaking people, just absolute punishing hits in every jersey he's ever worn. He'll throw the hit. He'll answer the bell and drop the mitts if someone wants to get froggy afterwards. And there's just picture after picture of him just destroying people, lighting them up against the boards, open ice, burying guys into their bench, giving them a little extra when they're down. This man is nasty. He is a throwback. There are not too many in the league like him, and I desperately want this man in a New Jersey Devils jersey come next season. There are some insane highlight hits of his. I'll put a link in the description to a couple of them, and you just see for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You will see this man crushing people in every way possible. It is a beautiful thing to see. I would love to see him doing it here in New Jersey. And now, if we were able to acquire these two fine gentlemen, our young friends Luke Hughes and Shimo Nemitz are automatically insulated with strong veteran partners while they continue to develop. Listen, the reality is I think they're both going to be studs. They're young kids. They have a long way to go, and I think they need a solid partner playing with them for them to continue to develop and not get as exposed. And I think Tanev and Zadorov are two great players to bring in to protect these kids, to really protect these kids. And I have to say, with these two guys on our blue line, wow, these pairings are looking pretty damn sexy. Let's take a look. And there you have it. This is a Picasso-level work of art, I think. We have Jonas Siegenthaler and Dougie Hamilton as a pair. And then we have Luke Hughes and Chris Tanev as our middle pair. And then our third pairing, Nikita Zadorov and Shimo Nemitz. Wow. Wow. I think these are absolutely beautiful pairings. I mean, let me know what you guys think. But looking at this on paper, I mean, when you just look at this, I say, wow. This kind of balance kind of reminds me of some of the defensive cores we had back in the day when we were winning Stanley Cups. It really reminds me of that a little bit. It really does. But I think these are some beautiful pairings. And before the cap police come for me and say, we'll never fit under the cap and this can't happen and blah, 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 blah. Obviously, for this to happen, the first step is shipping out John Marino. So obviously John Marino has to be shipped out for this to work. Currently, the Devils sit with a hair over $16 million in cap space as of today. So we have a hair over $16 million. John Marino's cap hit is 4.4. So if we were able to move John Marino out, that brings our cap space to $20.4 million before signing either one of these guys. And so now I look at projections, which, again, projections, I've seen some that are all over the place, but I think this site does a pretty good job. The projections have them making about $9.8 million combined. I'm going to round up to 10. I'm going to round up to $10 million, say, for the two of them. So if we're at $20.4 million cap space after getting rid of Marino before signing them, call these two guys brought in, however it breaks down, at roughly $10 million for the two of them. That brings us to $10.4 million remaining in cap space. We need to get Mercer under that number and then maybe a couple other extraneous pieces in the bottom six. I have to take a look, but we certainly have the room, and this is certainly not prohibitive. Obviously, it's going to limit what we could do up front, but in the end, I do think this is this really revamps the defense. I truly believe that. And I am a student of the Lou Lamoriello regime. You build a team from the net out. Obviously, Markstrom is no Martin Brodeur, but I do think Markstrom is very serviceable for the next 2 years. And now that we've taken care of the net, now we move out. And the defense, to me, was glaringly bad last year, and we got to fix it. And I think that's more of an importance than anything else. And signing these two guys at roughly $10 million combined, and there you see the stats on the screen there. This is from AFP Analytics. I'll put a link to their stuff. It's very interesting. I just found these guys. I'll put a link in the description for their site and social medias and all that as well in the description. But they have Zadorov signing a 5-year deal at almost $5.3 million cap hit, and they have Tanev at a 3-year deal at a just under $4.5 million cap hit. Like I said, about $10 million combined. I think they both probably could come in slightly higher, but who knows? If Markstrom gets on his recruiting hat, pitches them a nice scenario, come to New Jersey, we're building something special, let's get the band back together, let's win a Stanley Cup in Calgary East, and let's go. Let's go. So there's their, and then here's just to show AFPA Analytics. This is kind of what they do. They have this Google Doc, which has crazy calculations for them to project what the contracts are going to look like. And I don't know all the insane stuff that goes beyond this, but I think for the most part, the numbers are probably definitely in the ballpark. So we're calling it $10 million for the two. And I would love to see it. Bringing these two guys in gives us 3 beautiful pairs on D with a little toughness and size on each pairing. And I think we really are in good shape. I mean, if we pulled this off, I'd be super happy. I mean, I think now with the remaining cap space, we'd have to get creative, and I'll make a video about that in the next couple days because I do have like step 2 of my plan. For those of you asking, who are my number 1 guys? What would I do? And all these different things. I'm firmly in the camp of, I've said, for months now, you all know I'm a roughness, toughness, gritty kind of guy. I need to see that in our lineup. We haven't had it. You definitely need it to win. And I think this really goes a long way. I now believe with this move, our goaltending and defense is set. And now we need to make very smart, cost-efficient tweaks to the forward group, add some size, toughness there as well, to really round out this roster and really make them tougher and harder to play against. Fitzy said in that interview, a little edgier, a little heavier, and a little more violent. And these 2 guys really bring us a long way to achieve all 3 of those. And then we'd have to get creative with the contracts for the few other holes we'd have to fill. But I'm okay with not making super big splashes in the forward group if we were able to lock down these 2 guys on defense. I really think we could, maybe for depth players, a guy like Nolan Foote could step up, possibly a Shane Bowers. You never know. But I do like the way the team would be shaping up with these 2 added to the blue line, and that would be my number 1 priority. So your boy is on record here that as of right now, without any other developments, my number 1 initiative is trying to trade Marino out and signing up former Markstrom teammates from Calgary, Zadorov and Tanev, would be a beautiful look, and it'll make this team a lot tougher and a lot more competitive, and I think that is the move to go, and then you kind of tinker with the forward group from there. But that's 100% what I'm trying to do if I'm Tom Fitzgerald. Let me know what you guys think about these 2 guys. I want them both. Before I was like, oh, we definitely need one. Now I really, really want both. If it comes down to it and somehow Tanev doesn't work out, I wouldn't be heartbroken. I really want them both. But if we were able to get Zadorov and another serviceable defenseman, I could live with that. But my number 1 target is getting both of these guys. I just think their type of game, their experience, and obviously their familiarity with Markstrom, it just makes all the sense in the world. It makes super sense, fills the holes we need, and I think it improves our team a lot. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Any other defensemen, as we've all been talking about, throw that out there too. We have Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals coming up tomorrow. I'll have a preview video on that with some cool little tidbits and facts. But we're getting into the thick of it, guys. We are getting into the thick of it. We still have the number 10 pick. The draft is 5 days away. Let's see if Fitzy works any magic with that. Let me know what you guys think about that. A lot of rumors about who we should pick or should we still trade it. 5 days. Maybe Fitz has some magic up his sleeve heading into the draft. And then a couple days later, July 1, free agency. One of the most beautiful days of the year in our beautiful sport of hockey. Everyone pulls out their checkbooks, and it's an arms race. Who's going to get who? Who's changing sweaters? Who's changing cities? Who's going where? I love free agency, and the schedule's coming out soon somewhere among all that. And the Hall of Fame induction list is coming out. A lot of stuff in the next week, guys. I'm going to start just boom, 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 bombing videos on you all. Once Mogilny gets snubbed again, I'm going to make a rant video about that. I hope I'm wrong and somehow he gets in, but I don't think he will. But look for all that coming up. If you're new to the channel, please poke around. A lot of interesting videos in the past week or so, kind of on the state of the Devils and various other things related to New Jersey Devils hockey. So check that out on the channel. Lots of stuff always coming up. And I think that's all I got for you guys now. I'm looking forward to Game 7. I'll be back right after Game 7 with the video probably. And I'm hoping the Oilers do this for my man Adam Henrique, New Jersey Devils legend Adam Henrique. That's all I got for you guys now. I will talk to you all soon. Get Zadorov. Get Tanev. Championship. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.